Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jeff and today we are going to have some fun playing Magic. And the fun thing that we're trying to do today is we're playing Cavalier Knights. So Cavalier of Dawn, Cavalier of Night are also Knights with a K. Knights. And they're really good. So each of them have an ETB effect that destroys something. Cavalier of Dawn, when it enters the battlefield, destroy a non-land permanent and create a 3/3 golem. Cavalier of Night, when it enters the battlefield, you can just sack a creature and destroy a target creature an opponent controls. So decent. It also comes with a 4/5 lifelinking body, which is amazing. Whenever it dies, return target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's if you... oh, this one you don't actually have to exile it to make that happen. Oh yeah, these ones you don't. Some of the other ones you have to exile to make the thing actually work. But anyway, so we can get back Benevolent Marshal, a Knight of Grace, Knight of Malice, Knight of the Ebon Legion, Dauntless Bodyguard, and Danitha Compassion. So those are our main creatures on the bottom end. We have 2 Aerial Knight of Wingrace, and Cavalier of Dawn works really well with our History of Benalia's as well, which whenever it dies, you get to bring back an enchantment, artifact or enchantment, but we don't have any artifacts in the deck. But return an enchantment from the graveyard to our hand, so we can replay these History of Benalia's after we've already gotten them out. And so there's just a lot of kind of grindy value that these knights add to it, that the Cavaliers add to the deck. Also, Knight of the Ebon Legion, a huge addition to this deck. Knight of the Ebon Legion is a legion within himself. You know, he just is insane. So honestly, I think this is a really powerful deck right now. I think the biggest thing that may need to be tweaked is finding the right removal for all the extra spots. Right now I'm running 2 Conclave Tribunals, because there are lots of things like with Vigilance in the deck, with the History of Benalia. Conclave Tribunal just makes sense to be able to get that extra value of tapping down to get rid of stuff. 2 cast downs. There are a lot of non-legendary creatures out there that are still really good. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in green that people are playing. There's a lot of flyers. So I think Cast Down is still really good. Disfigure. I'm interested to see how good Disfigure is. I feel like there are a lot of important things you want to get that Disfigure doesn't really block. One God's Willing, being able to get through some blockers might just be enough to win us games, especially with the Knight of the Ebon Legion. So we're going to hold on to 1 God's Willing here in that slot and 1 Prison Realm. We probably could make some room for a bit more removal. We do have our Ariel that also destroys stuff, tapping for untapped knights. We also have the Cavaliers, which also are removal. So we're hoping that this is enough, but I could see that one of the things that really turns a deck from being meh to really good is usually how good the removal is. Honestly, that's how it works. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get into the gameplay, see how this does for us, and wish me luck.
Before we jump into the gameplay, a quick thanks to Fusion Gaming for sponsoring this video. Be sure to head over to FusionGamingOnline.com for all your Magic the Gathering needs. Check the link in the description below.
All right, we're up against Felipe Thierge. And here we go. This isn't bad. We have a way to get to Benevolent Marshal. We have Knight of the Ebon Legion on turn 1. Nothing else so far, but we're going to keep it, especially on the draw. Hoping for that 3rd white land. I know it's a little bit awkward with these Cavalier Knights in here as well. There is History of Benalia. And this is the beautiful thing too, is if we just get to 3 mana, honestly, Knight of the Ebon Legion is just good enough by himself to, especially if you're up against like a control deck or something. So let's see if they have the Thought Erasure. They do. I'm guessing they take History of Benalia. They do. Boo hiss. Well, there's another one at least. All right, swing it in. Down to 17. We would love to find land. Land would be great. We do have quite a bit of land in the deck because we knew we wanted to get up to these 5 mana creatures. I think there's 23. Ingress Rampage, which 23 isn't a ton, but there's some there for sure. All right, we're gonna get down History of Benalia first. We know that this lets opponents see our whole hand, but I do think it's better than getting on Benevolent Marshal because now we get to pump this guy when he swings in. All right, Discovery. We are worried about just how much removal. I think that I've been seeing a lot of this like Grixis control type of deck where there's Grixis, Planeswalkers, and pretty good stuff from what I've seen. All right, the 4th land. Do we just go for Ariel instead? I think because of a possible Ritual of Soot, I'm going to play Ariel. It also dodges Cast Down. Hopefully this isn't an Essence Scatter. Maybe it should have swung in first. All right, there we go. Play Ariel, pass the turn. Yeah, so they did have removal for the Benelish Marshal. So glad that we played that. Nicol Bolas comes down. We are fine to get rid of a Cavalier, an extra Cavalier of Night. Kills this, we get to take care of Nikki B.
Your existence is pointless.
Well, play the Marshal. We do have to kill this Nicol Bolas right now, though. I mean, that saved him 5 life, which is a little bit rough, but we're still going to be able to build this. Oh, there's the ritual. It's a pretty good. It's a pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and play Cavalier of Night. Glad to hit the land there. So now if it dies, we get to bring back something good stuff. Ooh. All right, this is actually pretty cool. So we get to kill Benelish Marshal, or get rid of him. We play the other Cavalier of Night, sack this Cavalier, you kill Nicol Bolas, and then when this one dies, Nicol Bolas comes back. So we're actually going to swing in first here. All right, down to 13. Cavalier of Night, number 2. Sacrifice another creature. We're going to bring back Benelish Marshal. Kill his guy. Have a 5/6 lifelinker. That wasn't bad. One has 2 cards in hand. I'm thinking this cast down is pretty dead, so discard is fine at the moment. We're hoping they just don't have removal. Doesn't look like they have anything yet. All right, let's go ahead and swing in. All right, Bedeck. All right, it does make the Knight a little bit smaller. We are going to bring out Knight of Grace. Speeds up the clock a little bit, pass the turn. And does dodge pretty much all their removal except for board wipes. So, pretty good. Nikki B, okay.
Gods once, I am one again.
This we know is a pretty dead card, so we're fine with getting rid of Cast Down. They could possibly have like Thief of Sanity, but I think at this point it's not as good. So we're actually going to swing in here. Face, all attack face. And now we'll Cavalier of Dawn, destroy Nicol Bolas.
I have other plans.
This is feeling really good, guys. I like this deck a lot. And even if they kill the Cavalier of Night, we get to bring something back. So if it's a board wipe, I mean, not that they can really have a board wipe that works quick enough in these colors, I don't think. Yeah, I really don't think, I don't know what they could do here. Okay, they play Discovery. So they could have bounced something back there, but that would have taken up too much mana, it looks like. So, yeah. This is feeling really solid, really powerful. Let's go ahead and... just in case, we're going to play the Benelish Marshal. Make these guys a bit bigger. Ross's Contempt, gains some life. Now Knight of Grace can swing in for lethal. That's why we wanted to play Benelish Marshal. Alright, so swing in. And we have the game. Booyah! Oh, we don't have the black symbol anymore. Oh, that was right. I forgot. When he was going away, he still had the 4, and I missed it when he went away. So that was good. So opponent stays alive for a turn, now scoops it up. Okay. Oh man, I feel like an idiot after that. But I do think that playing the Benelish was still good there. All right, up against Gabuze. Bring it on, Gabuze. That's a cool name, by the way. And let's see what we've got here. We got another Knight at the beginning. Not a chance to play Benelish Marshal. We'll play Godless Shrine first just to try to hit the Benelish Marshal. And we'll keep this. This is the one awkward thing about playing the swamps. I only have 2 of the tapped lands in the deck. Ooh, all right. Well, we know that we have Benalish Marshal on turn 3. I hate taking the life for this, but Knight is pretty good. We'll see if it draws out a shock or something. Fanatical Firebrand. All right, well, we're not going to block. Okay, they do have a shock anyway. Down to 16. Well, Godless Shrine tapped. Pass the turn. Oh, I think this hand might have been a little bit slow. If we were able to get out Knights of Grace and Knights of Malice, we would be in decent shape. I think as long as we just had like an endless supply of those would be great. Would help a lot against this deck. All right, it looks like they're a little bit shy on lands. Another Firebrand. Okay. All right, get out Benalish Marshal. And hope that they don't have Lightning Strike or Wizard's Lightning. Skewer. Okay, swings for 4. Down to 10. Loses the Chandra. Well, we're going to Conclave Tribunal. Let's go ahead and just hit the Lava Runner. Firebrands are always nice to get rid of as well, but this is what we got. Pyromancer, okay. Down to 8, down to 6. We need to find something good. That's not something good. All right, Conclave Tribunal. Hit the Pyromancer, I guess. Godless Shrine tapped. And past the turn, we have a handful of lands against an aggro deck. This is rough. We really didn't... We only had 3 lands in our opening hand, right? Oh, Goblin Chain Whirler. All right, so now that is death. That is all of the lands. Yeah, good game. Good game, sir. He might be thinking that we're like holding up Settle the Wreckage or whatever. But yeah. We're not. We got nothing. We don't have anything in this hand. It's pretty bad. Alright, up against Ryu, bring it on. And our goal this time is to not draw 10 lands. That is the dream. Of course. But we cannot keep this. We got a mulligan. We need to at least have a turn something play. All right, keeping 6. That's right. We mulligan. I forgot about that. Well, let's put a swamp to the bottom. We need to have all of this stuff to do, and we have the lands to get there. Swamp to the bottom. We do want to make sure that we have 3 mana, 3 of each color at some point, but for now, let's do what we got. All right, God's Willing, sweet. Not very useful yet. It is a nice thing to have, though. So I think that we go for History of Benalia first, into like Danitha, and then into Benalish Marshal. Yeah, so History of Benalia. Search for his Kanta. Yeah, so we bring down Benalish Marshal at the same time that that History of Benalia pumps everything else. And that will be lots of damage. One deciding what he wants, if he wants the card on top here. And elementals, or not elementals, Teamer with Search for his Kanta, so some sort of control. Is this like the new version of Fog? It very well could be another Fog deck. I'm not going to play Benalish Marshal yet. I think it would be good. Let's go for Danitha. The one thing, though, is that there are things like Flame Sweep. That's rough. Okay. Sinister Sabotage. Fast turn. Opponent's getting all of the looks at the top of the deck. Wilderness Reclamation. Well, hopefully, if we hit Cavalier Knight, we're just going to get rid of that. If we get to let it resolve. All right, pass to my turn. All right, no land. If we resolve this hit Benelish Marshal, we can play it and Conclave Tribunal. We need to have land to get to this Cavalier Knight. I'm hoping that there's nothing else they're playing now. Okay, yeah, so swing in. Down to 8, pass the turn. Unfortunately, we played the God's Willing, so we weren't able to Conclave Tribunal, but we weren't going to be able to play Benelish in that anyway. So Rouse Outburst down to 3. They get to untap everything with the wreck. So good. Swamp. Let's swing in first. Bring him down to 4. He's having to answer these guys as well. So the things that he's probably going to have in hand, this is probably the Expansion Explosion deck. I'm assuming maybe he has like Chandra in here as well. Like just some good Planeswalkers at work. All right, we'll swing in for 2, down to 6. And we're going to go for the Oh, that actually doesn't hit anything, does it? But we need to get lethal on board. And this is pretty good, even if it does die. So we're going to get lethal on board. Decline. Emisizzle. This is if people cast an instant or sorcery. I'm glad that he hasn't seemed to have let's see here. Let's play Knight of Grace. A Conclave Tribunal. Hit the Emisizzle, swing in for lethal. He didn't play anything, so there we go. We got it. Oh, man. We got some really good draws off the top there. An opponent was missing some probably really good removal that they have. But we were able to... we still had to answer a lot of things there, and that was good. All right, up against Ortus. Bring it on, Ortus. And we are playing... our Knights deck. Again, let's keep this. I like Knight of Grace, cast down for some removal. Some black, or we can at least play Ariel if we find another land. Ariel. You guys always think of Little Mermaid with this every time? At least I do every time. Like, this is like after everything. She starts writing panthers and whatnot, and okay, maybe not. All right, Godless Shrine tapped. Pass the turn, and let's see how this does. Knight of the Even Legion. Do we want to cast down first? I guess not. Let's get down Knight of Grace. It is a really good blocker for the Knight. It also dodges removal in black, which is probably a lot of what they have. And we have the cast down for next turn. So yeah, it brings out Sky Marcher, Aspirant. All right, let's play Godless Shrine tapped. Let's swing in. We want to swing in before we kill the Knight, but I am going to kill the Knight with the cast down first because I am more scared of it than anything else. But Knight of Grace gets smaller after it's gone, so there's that. If they double block, we actually get to kill both of them beforehand. We also have a cast down for any shenanigans. So if they have something like a God's Willing or something like that, that's fine. Opponent's taking his good old time trying to decide what he wants to do here. All right, so let the damage through, down to 15. Now we cast down, get rid of the knight. What we could have done is we might have been able to hold up mana in case he tries to pump the Knight of the Even Legion there. So there might have been some better targets here, especially if they have a Benelish Marshal or something. I've seen a lot of this black-white aggro that's not quite the same, right? So this is vampires, okay.
I have not survived millennia to stand down now.
Throws the Aspirant, that's fine. Benelish Marshal. We get to do 4 to Sorin. That doesn't really stop him any more than Ariel does. So let's just bring out Ariel. Swing in at Sorin. Pass the turn.
Cost you dearly.
I do like these Cavalier of Knights. The thing I feel like, though, is like sometimes you want to hold them back. If you don't have a creature you're really willing to sacrifice, it's hard to kill, especially like these smaller creatures. We don't have to worry about it too much right now, but... Alright, Sky Marcher. Legion's Landing. Lots of stuff, lots of blockers for the Sorin. We'll say no blocks. Down to 13, they gain some life. Up to 22. That's a lot. Let's go Benelish Marshal. Ass down. Sky Marcher. It's a little bit awkward. We're not killing the Aspirant yet. We want to make sure that we can attack, all attack at Sorin here. We need to get Sorin out of there. And this way we can. Alright, so let it through. Sorin dies.
Childish games bore me.
We have a 5/5 to block the Aspirant now. As long as they don't hit City's Blessing here. I think that's just enough. They do hit City's Blessing.
I understand.
And now we're probably going to have to get rid of the Aspirant with the Knight.
You are capable of more than you assume.
Alright, down to 8. Land. And it's destroy a creature with power X or less. So the nice thing about this actually is that we get to kill another vampire, I guess. 3/4. All right, so next, let's swing in these two at Johnny. We're just having to answer a lot of things right now, but they are empty-handed. I feel like we overall have more value on board, especially if we can use Ariel to actually kill Knight of the Even Legion after this. We're going to take 5, and then... Oh, man. We still have to somehow find a way to deal with this Aspirant. Maybe we just need to kill the Aspirant here. Actually, that's what we're going to do with Knight of the Cavalier of Night. All right, so they block 1. Take Johnny down to 4, or down to 1.
An option.
Okay, second part of combat. There we go. A Cavalier of Night. I don't like getting rid of Knight of Grace, but we can at least get it back with this Cavalier of Night. So, submit, sacrifice Knight of Grace to kill Sky Marcher Aspirant, and now we can tap down Ariel. X3. We have 3 untapped knights. Oh, it taps itself. That's right. Oh, that's right. Never mind. I want to cancel. All right. Confirm 0. All right. Pass the turn. All right. Well, that was a little bit... So I misread that there. So You have to tap, because Ariel taps itself, we didn't have 3. All right, so they can still pump Knight of the Even Legion. We go down to 1 actually with a Johnny. They didn't actually use a Johnny yet. They had lethal there, or a chance at lethal. All right, let's because of death touches is a little bit rough. We do want to get rid of this knight. We can actually double block here, and then we can kill Legion Lieutenant, keep Ariel alive. And when Cavalier of Night dies, we get to bring back at least the Knight of Grace. I think that that's worth it. So block like that. Whoa, 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 whoa. I what in the world? I ticked up twice. All right, here we go. Use this. I don't know why clicking on that twice wasn't working. There we go. Submit to. Man, that was really funky. I was clicking up twice on it, and maybe I clicked off of it. I don't know. Yeah, both of our guys die. We actually get to bring back Benelish Marshall. That's right, because it dies as well. And that was sweet. That was not too shabby at all. All right, so there you guys have it with Cavalier Knights, and I think that these guys are solid. I think they add a ton to the Knight Tribal deck, and we have been playing lots of Knight Tribal. So no Icon of Ancestry in this deck, I think, because Benelish Marshall and History of Benalia are good enough. Maybe you can go down like one Benelish Marshall because we're so heavy in 2 colors. But overall, I think that he's just a really good card. He is a knight. It just works really well. History of Benalia gives the pumpage as well and a bunch of creatures, so it's overall a little bit better than Icon. We can maybe find a spot for 1 Icon just because of the ability to search up other creatures is really good. So that's my thoughts with that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.